Hi, it's Leslie Fightmaster, and welcome to day 18. We're going to start today in Virasana, or Hero's Pose. So taking a block between the ankles. Now, if you don't have a block, you can roll up a blanket or a towel, and then just sit back so that your heels are just to the outside of your hips and your knees are no wider than your hips. Watch that the rib cage doesn't pop out. Draw that in, creating length in the back body. If it bothers the knees at all, sit up higher. Another block, or you can use another blanket or pillow even to prop yourself up so that you have less pressure on the knees. And then when you're ready, when you feel settled, and start to ground down through the sit bones and begin to lengthen away as if you're pressing your legs down right at the hip creases and lifting up. Then bring your hands together in front of your heart, taking a moment to set your intention, your personal intention for your practice. And then let's release that. Inhale and sweep your arms out, around, and up, being sure the rib cage stays drawing in. Face your palms a little toward the back of your mat and then bend your right elbow. Take your left hand on the elbow, but continue to draw the ribs in. Try not to let your back arch. Let the shoulder blades relax down and spin that right tricep forward. So the right elbow will point straight up. Take another breath here. I'm going to do some shoulder opening today. And then let's release that. So the palms again facing the back of your mat. Now we'll bend the left elbow, taking it up toward the upper back, right hand on top of the left elbow. Just trying to coax that left hand down toward the center of your back as you keep your front ribs drawing in and your hip bones lifting up. And continue to create space in the back of your body. Nice, steady Ujjayi breathing. And then let's release that. And then inhale again, arms halfway out to a T. Bring your right arm on top of the left. So these are Garudasana arms. So you can do that, palms touch or touch your shoulders. So if palms don't touch, just touch your opposite shoulders with your hands. Lift the elbows up gently, but lift the chest up a little bit more. Take another breath here. And keep the breath nice and steady. And then release that. Inhale, sweep the arms halfway up. Exhale, left arm on top of right. Either touch your palms or maybe the backs of your hands, or touch the opposite shoulders. And again, lift up, but continue to lengthen through the back body so your lower back stays long and your ribs stay pulling in. A nice steady breath as you lift your chest and allow your shoulder blades to draw down gently toward the waist. And again, remembering your Ujjayi breathing, inhales and exhales through the nose, slightly constricting through the back of your throat as you breathe, releasing that. And then we'll come off of our blocks, or actually not quite yet. We're going to tuck the toes under and sit back onto the heels. This might be intense, so stick with it for as long as you can. Reach the arms out, interlace the fingers, face the palms out, and then inhale, arms up. Now, if your ribs pop out, just don't take the arms up in line with the ears. We want to keep that length in the spine without allowing the rib cage to pop out and the low back to arch. Now, your feet might be on fire, so if you need to, just come right off of them. And then everybody come off, and then we're going to sit back down. Arms in front, interlace other pinky on the bottom. Next inhale, reach up, arms and ears in line, or keep the arms a little in front of the ears to allow the rib cage to draw in. It's a very intense stretch on the feet, especially because you're probably used to wearing shoes, and we lose a lot of the muscles in our feet. So let's come on off of the heels. We'll move that block out of the way, untuck the toes, and then make your way into table. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And inhale, bring your chest forward, lift the chin and tailbone. And then exhale to round the back, pulling the ribs and belly in, cat and cow, Bidalasana. Inhale, widen across the collarbones, draw the shoulder blades toward the waist, and exhale, press away from the floor firmly, and tuck your tailbone. Inhale, bring the chest forward through the gates of your arms. As you exhale, start to round the back, draw the chin in, pressing away from the floor. Now find a neutral spine and extend your right leg back behind you. Drop your outer right hip a little. As you inhale, lift it. Your right hip's going to want to pick up, so lift the leg from the inner thigh. I'm showing the arching back. We don't want that. Extend the left arm forward. Now your back's going to want to arch again, so draw the front ribs in and draw the belly in. Make sure the right toes point straight to the floor to help keep your hip level, that right hip. And set it all down. Left leg back. Tuck the toes under first, keep the foot on the floor. Now you can drop the outer left hip down as you lift the left leg up. And then reach the right arm forward. Sometimes your leg wants to lift up high. You don't need it to be that high. Just lift it from the inner thigh. Stretch through the arm and the leg. Continue to pull the ribs and belly in so that your lower back isn't arching too much. Take another breath and release it. Back to table. And then let's take a child's pose. Reach the arms in front and then bend your elbows and touch your palms to your shoulders. And then see if you can walk your elbows forward any amount so we get a nice stretch in the shoulders and triceps. If that's too intense, of course, you can extend the arms. Let's all extend the arms. Come back up onto the knees. And now extend the right leg back again, lifting it from the inner thigh. Don't let that hip pop up. Left arm forward, pull ribs and belly in so that you're keeping that neutral torso. As you exhale, we're going to draw the knee and the elbow in towards center, rounding the back a bit, just like cat. Inhale, extend it out, drop the outer right hip again. Exhale, pull it in like you're moving through water. Make some resistance, pulling the ribs and belly in firmly so you're working the core muscles. Inhale, extend, lift the right inner thigh. Exhale, and draw knee and elbow in, rounding the back. Inhale and reach. And then exhale, set yourself back down to table. Take a breath. Now we're going to do the left side. So left leg back, lift it from the inner thigh, drop the outer hip, make sure your lower back's not overarching, and reach the right arm forward. Take an inhale to stretch out. Exhale, slowly draw the knee and the elbow in towards center, rounding your upper back. Inhale and reach, dropping the outer hip down on the left leg. Exhale, draw it in and up. Pull your belly in and your rib cage in strongly. Inhale with control. Extend out like you're moving through water. Exhale, slowly drawing it in towards center. And inhale, extend forward. Keep those belly muscles engaged here as well. Exhale and set yourself back into table. Now walk your hands forward about a handprint. Tuck your toes under and stretch into down dog. Let's keep the knees bent, the hips high. And then start to straighten the legs a little and begin bicycling your legs, bending one knee and the other. Now your arms are shoulders distance apart here, feet are hips width. And as we bicycle the legs, we can stretch out the hamstrings. Bend both knees and then extend them toward the floor. Try and get as much length through the spine as you can. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Press down into the base of your fingers as your forearms lift up away from the mat. Arms and ears in line. Continue to draw your rib cage in and pull your belly in. as you stretch the weight up to the hips and reach it down toward the heels. As you inhale, ripple your spine forward into plank, top of a push-up. As you exhale, you can take the knees down. Make sure your back isn't arching or your hips aren't higher than your shoulders. So take the knees down if it gets to be too much. Then everybody knees down, shift forward about an inch, lower to your belly. And untuck the toes, press all the toenails down for cobra. Lift the hands up in your cobra today. Widen the collarbones, tailbones reaching to heels, and bellies lifted. And then hands down. Press back up to the knees, tuck the toes under, lift up and back for downward facing dog again. Your inner thighs spin back as your heels reach down. So it's better to have a little bend in the knees with a long spine than to have not enough length in the spine. Step forward on your inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, fold forward, bending the knees as needed. And then press through the feet with a long spine stretch all the way up tall, tailbone down, belly in. And exhale, Samastitihi, steady balance at the front of the mat, Tadasana. Take your feet hips distance apart or together. Be sure the outer edges of your feet are parallel. Press evenly through the four corners of the feet. Then lift the inner arches. Tailbones pressing, lengthening down. Hip bones are lifting up, ribs are in. Inner thighs spinning back. And then widen across the collarbones. Inhale, sweep your arms out, around, and up. Exhale, folding forward, hinge from the hips. Keep the belly drawing in here as well. Hips over heels if the legs are straight. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step into plank. Backs the knees stay lifted or you can set them down. Shift forward, exhale to the belly. Untuck the toes, inhale, cobra, peel the chest up, or upward dog, thighs and knees are off the floor. That is your choice. Exhale, lift up and back for down dog. So as we're continuing to move through our beginners challenge, we have different options for our sun salutations. Right leg up, inhale. And then instead of opening the hip, let's keep the hips level here as well. So the outer right hip drops down, look forward. Step it up by the right hand on the outside of it, the pinky side. If it doesn't make it, pick it up, put it there. You're on the ball of your back foot, and then take the back knee down if you like. It's a little bit easier to keep the back knee down. Keep the right knee drawing in toward the right shoulder. If you have a little more flexibility, you want to go deeper, you can take your forearms on top of your block. Otherwise, stay up on your hands, and remember, back knee down is a little bit easier. Pull the right hip back. We want to try and keep the hips level, and watch that right knee. It wants to poke out to the right, so keep drawing it in so that the knee is directly over the middle toes. Then exhale, round the back, start to straighten the front leg. And then inhale, kind of like cow pose, dropping the belly a little, bringing the chest forward. Exhale, little rounded like cat as you straighten the front leg, pull the right hip back. Inhale, bring the chest through, draw the shoulder blades toward the waist. Exhale, begin to round the upper back and pull the right hip back as you straighten that leg. And inhale, come back to center. We'll step all the way into downward facing dog. Now, if it's hard to reach the floor, inhale, plank. You can always have hands on blocks. Exhale, knees up or down. And then again, we'll lower all the way down to the floor. Inhale, cobra or up dog, your choice. And then exhale, tuck the toes and lift up and back for down dog. And inhale, lifting the left leg from the inner thigh. So instead of letting the hip open, we'll keep the hips level. As you exhale, look up by the left hand. Step it all the way there. If it doesn't make it, pick it up, put it there, but put it on the pinky side of the hand. Take the right knee down. Pull the left hip back to level off your hips. Either keep the knee down or tuck the back toe, lifting the right leg off the floor. And keep the hands on the floor, or maybe you'll want to put forearms on a block if you want to go deeper. Also, hands can stay on top of the blocks as well if it's hard to reach. But do be sure your knee and ankle line up on the left leg. We don't want the knee in front of the ankle. Also, knee in line with the middle toes, so draw that left knee in toward the left shoulder. Continue your steady breathing as you pull the left hip back. And then as you take your next exhale, start to round the upper back and straighten your left leg. On your inhale, like a cow pose, bring the chest forward, lift the chin up. Exhale, like a cat pose, round the upper back and draw back, pulling the left leg back, left hip back. Inhale, coming forward, chin slightly up. And exhale, and press yourself back, pulling the left hip back as you do. And then once again, inhale, bring the chest forward, little arch in the upper back. And then let's take the right knee down, come to table, and then lift into down dog. You can stay in down dog, or if you'd love a vinyasa, inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga, knees up or down, shoulders no lower than elbows if you're going halfway. Inhale, upward dog or cobra pose, and exhale to downward dog. So if your back is arching in plank and into chaturanga, either hold plank with a straight back or take the knees down. Look forward, step the feet up. Inhale, come halfway up and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Press down through your feet and rise all the way up. And exhale to Samastitihi. So let's take the weight onto the left leg. Pick up the right leg and take it anywhere above or below the left knee for tree pose, Vrikshasana. I'm going to drop that right hip down and pin your left hip in towards center. And then inhale, add your arms. So find a spot to focus on. Watch that the ribs don't pop out. Spin the triceps forward on the arms. Keep a steady gazing point, something that's not moving. That helps with your balance a lot. And then point the knee to the front. Extend that leg out any amount. You can hold it lower or higher. But see if you can extend it out, continuing to draw the right hip down and squeezing left hip in. And then release. And we'll start to shift the weight over onto the right foot. Picking the left foot up, taking it anywhere above or below the knee. Drop the left hip down, and now pin the right hip in. Keep the tailbone lengthening. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Again, triceps are spinning forward, ribs are drawing in. Lengthen through the back body and keep your steady gazing point. Ujjayi breathing here as well. Inhales and exhales equal in length. And then point the knee to the front, extend the leg out any amount, low or high. Draw the left hip down and continue to pin the right hip in. Shoulders stay over the hips. Try not to lean back. And then slowly back to Tadasana. I'm going to bend the knees a little bit. It's another balance. I'm going to cross your right knee on top of the left. So either cross it once, or you might be able to hook your toes around your calf. Then arms out, left arm over right like we did in the beginning of our class, or touch the shoulders. This is Garudasana, eagle pose. Lift the chest, gently lift the elbows. Drop both hips in towards center, squeezing here. This is a great one to strengthen the outer hips. Not a whole lot we do strengthens that. Take a breath here. Continue gazing at your spot. And then once again, we're going to extend that leg out, keeping the arms entwined. Now, this is getting tricky. We're going to extend the right leg back from the inner thigh so that the hips don't open up. And then release, just like we did in table when we extended the leg. All right, other side. Bend the right knee a little, cross the left leg over either once or around the calf. And now right arm on top of left. Backs the hands, palms touch, or hands touch shoulders. Sink back, tailbone down, belly lifts. Keep your steady gazing point to help with balance. And your breath is so steady. Good. Now we're going to undo the leg and extend the left leg forward any height. Without touching the left foot to the floor, if you can, start to lift it back behind you now from the inner thigh so your hips stay level, and then release. If that was hard, don't worry. You can always push pause and do it again if you want to. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from the hips. Keep length in the spine. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, and step back into plank. Knees up or down, chaturanga, shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhale to cobra or in upward dog, shoulders over wrists in up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Remember, child's pose is always an option. Look forward. We're going to come through and sit. And then lie down, heels under knees for bridge pose. So first tilt the pelvis up and then lift up your hips, your low back and mid back. Roll the shoulders under. Maybe interlace the fingers if you can. Keep the chin away from the chest, but lift the chest up toward the chin. Spiral the thighs in toward each other. Make sure the outer edges of your feet are staying parallel. And then we'll release and rest. And hug the knees in. And gently rock your side to side. Give your low back a nice little massage. Your little circles on the back feel nice. And now keep your right knee hugging in. Extend your left leg out. As you exhale, let's take the right knee off to the left side and twist. Look over your right shoulder unless it bothers the neck. Return to your Ujjayi breathing, if you've lost it at all. And then left knee in, extend the right leg out. Exhale, left leg off to the right side, looking over the left shoulder. Again, Ujjayi breathing. Always returning focus to the breath. Whenever you think of it, I'll remind you as well, but always return the focus. So I just want to check in. Am I breathing? Am I practicing my Ujjayi? Let's come back to center. Happy baby. Take the pinky toe sides of the feet, knees in toward armpits. Gently rock side to side as you lengthen the tailbone toward the floor. And now we're going to make our way into Shavasana. So tailbone's going to reach toward heels. Arms by your sides with your palms facing up. Let your feet flap open. Close your eyes. Anything else you'd like to do to make yourself comfortable, cover up or put a blanket under your head or knees. And we'll just rest here for a few minutes. Enjoy Shavasana. And as you're resting here a little bit longer, here's a nice quote from Maya Angelou. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. People will forget what you've said and what you've done, but people will never forget how you've made them feel. So let's reach out, take a long breath and a nice stretch. Bend the knees, roll yourself off to the right, rest a moment. Honoring yourself for showing up again on day 18. I'm very proud of you. I hope you're proud of yourself. Come on up to seated. And then hands together at the heart. We'll bring our hands up to our foreheads to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Our hands to the heart center to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. And then our hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications. Let's send out wonderful energy to all beings everywhere. Namaste, bowing forward any amount. So glad you joined today, and don't forget to subscribe, join our community, visit fightmasteryoga.com and join our mailing list. If you know anybody else who might benefit from yoga and they're new, please share our 30 days with them, maybe on Facebook or pin it up on Pinterest, or just tell them. More people practicing yoga makes a better world. So see you later. Bye.